I think one of the big reasons that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the Liberal Party of Canada are going to get absolutely smoked by Poilievre's Conservatives in the next federal election is because Trudeau has made liberal politics in Canada so childish. Even 5 years ago, I don't think they acted like this at all. But so much of Liberal Party activity, as well as the activity on social media of their hardcore supporters, is like naysaying and trying to mess with conservatives. They're literally the government. They have control over legislation, and I don't think they're actually trying to move forward with good faith legislation anymore. They are not trying to actually get their agenda done and try and make life better for Canadians. I think that doesn't factor into what they're doing at all. It's about like dunking on conservatives and trying to get a victory that they could get to rub in the conservatives' face. Like all their tweets might as well be ended off with nah 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 nah. Oh, we got something passed in Parliament and the Conservatives didn't. Aren't like a high five. They don't care what they passed. This is why they're pushing forward Bill C-63. They know it's against the Constitution and freedom of expression and speech. They don't care. It's about going after those conservatives and going after them because they're hateful and we're not hateful. Like, again, 7 years ago, I didn't see this kind of stuff. But now that the Liberals are down in the polls, they've just evolved into acting like 5-year-olds, and maybe that's a bit generous. They're acting like very whiny 15-year-olds. And I know that's an older demographic, but I mean, like, they're acting like mean girls in high school these days. So you get the Liberals posting stuff like this, just smear articles from the Hill Times and the Toronto Star these days. The headline of this article read, Poilievre should steer clear of far-right extremists. The last thing Canada needs is more polarized country, and Poilievre is playing with fire if he continues to court the far right. How is he courting the far right? Who knows? They're just saying it. And the Liberals in the header of this tweet just say, he should, but he won't. He'll do anything to win. Make an argument, guys. It's just the type of content you would assume that a mean 15-year-old girl would come up with. And then you get the Liberals posting stuff like this after they got their pharmacare passed through the House of Commons. They said, breaking, Pierre Poilievre's Conservatives just tried to cut pharmacare. We stopped them. Wow. And then this is a tweet where truly they should have just put in na or whatever. Guys, you're literally the government. You are in a coalition situation, effectively, with Jagmeet Singh's NDP and sometimes the Bloc Québécois. Obviously, you guys were able to pass it, but it's just about the idea that we have something and you don't. We got it done and they didn't. Did you do something good? Is this actually going to get people health care or medication? Well, no, because all they're doing is trying to underpay pharmaceutical companies, or in the case of the dental care plan, underpay dentists for their care. So nobody's signing up for this, and you're going to get a massive amount of non-compliance, as should happen, because nobody should go bankrupt just to support the Canadian government's bloated programs. But this is what you also get from like Liberal MPs. Mark Garrettson is a perfect example. Look at his Twitter feed, or his X feed, I guess, on any given day. And it's just, conservatives are bad people, and I'm virtuous and great, and don't they smell bad? It's stuff like this, where he's posting this disinformation poll from Frank Graves, a pollster who deeply hates conservative people. So he puts out this disinformation poll where he includes a bunch of stuff that aren't even disinformation, but if you don't believe what he believes, that's considered disinformation. Like, he considers it disinformation to not believe that Canada has the fastest growing GDP in the G7, which is not true on multiple fronts. Like, technically, that is true if you like really squint your eyes, but not actually in reality. But Mark Garrettson is constantly talking about how conservatives are bad and they're nasty and just like poking fun at them. You're literally in government. You can get stuff done, but the Liberals choose to basically just use legislation as a platform to like naysay conservatives and to like call them bad people, and they're awful and they're nasty and they can't sit us with us at the lunchroom. Oh, this is our table. You're not allowed to sit with us at our table. This is what my co-host Daniel Boardman says all the time. The Liberals' new election strategy is the mean girl strategy. You're not going to vote for Pierre Poilievre, really? He like, I don't even know what comparison to make here, but it's just mean girl kind of cafeteria nonsense. And this is what you then get from Liberal Party supporters on social media. This woman who, for some reason, made her actual name her Gmail. Do not email her; it would just be annoying what you'd probably get sent back. But she's wearing a Women Against Poilievre shirt, and they put lie in the middle of his name because that's super clever. And she says, me and 17 million Canadian women are not voting for Poilievre, nor have we been polled. You and 17 million women are not voting for Pierre Poilievre. Sorry to break it to you, but if you have looked at the male female polling data, the conservatives are winning both men and women by wide margins because people don't like Justin Trudeau. But that person's feed is just full of just childish, oh, he's a liar. He's nasty. Oh, he's corrupt. And they're just saying stuff. How is he corrupt? He's never been the prime minister. He's never been minister of anything for more than like a couple years because he only was old enough to really be given a big role like that into the late stages of Harper's government. But it's just naysaying. Like these people do politics like they're 14-year-olds who don't know what's going on. So like, let's call him a liar. Who's this convincing at all? It's so childish. And Trudeau and the party encourages stuff like this. You even get Patty Hajdu here, the Minister of Health, or former Minister of Health. Maybe she is still. I don't think she should be. And she says, ask the women in Florida how this is going for them in response to Mark Garrettson just trying to like naysay or like belittle Arnold Viersen for caring about 100,000 aborted unborn kids in Canada every year. Because even a conservative MP standing up for the 100,000 aborted children every year, oh, this is a great opportunity to dunk on a conservative. Mark Garrettson is a horrible human being. Patty Hajdu is a horrible human being for doing that. You can be pro-choice, but when 100,000 unborn children are dying every year and your response is not that, well, that's tragic, but it should be legal. Like I'm pro-life, so I don't believe that. But when you think this is a great opportunity to try and clown on Arnold Viersen, you might not have a heart at all. Here's another one from some random person on social media. I've been labeled a left-wing nut job by conservatives. I'm so proud of my transformation from conservative operative to full functioning human. I was a conservative campaign manager in 2015. Harper was so disgusting. I joined the Liberal Party and hashtag I stand with Trudeau. Well, apparently she liked Harper since 2004 to 2015, but no, now she is a liberal. She is a human being. She is now human, not like those gross goblin conservatives. This is just high school stuff. This girl saying, I'm fortunate to have good dental benefits through my work. I will be checking to see if my dentist accepting patients from the Canadian dental program. If my dentist says no, I will be taking my benefits to a dental office that does. And then the woman earlier who has her Gmail account as her name says, I just spoke to a new dentist in my village, and it was a big fat no to the Canadian dental plan, and it said it doesn't work like a normal dental plan. I asked if they accept Sun Life dental plans, and she agreed that they do, just not the Canadian dental plan. I find that fascist discrimination. Your dentist doesn't want to take part in the dental plan because it doesn't pay them enough to do it. It's basically saying that you get to lose money every time you accept a government client. And now you're going to call them a fascist because they actually don't want to starve. They don't want their dental office going under. And this is the thing. This is not just reserved to attacking conservative politicians or conservative supporters on the internet. These people are attacking people for not going along with a bloated, unthought through Liberal Party program. Really? The dental care plan, your dentist, who you would probably admit is an expert with dental care, doesn't want to take part in this program, and you're going to call them a fascist? That's just called being an idiot. You're going to go after the dentist you admit you've gone to for years, a fascist, or the other lady saying, I'm going to walk away if they don't take part in this. You're just a fool. I hope that dentist replaces you with 3 other people because, wow, lady, that is pretty childish to actually want to have someone lose business because they don't want to take the economic hit in participating in your favorite party's terrible dental care program. Ugh. And then you have this person who calls themselves uppity Métis woman, which if she is Métis, let's just assume that she's telling the truth. That's just, I find insulting to anybody whenever they like label themselves after their race or ethnic group on Twitter. Like, I represent all Métis women. Stop it. It's actually just insulting to try and like make yourself like the arbiter of what this entire group of people says. That whatever. But I'm going to get to what they said in the tweet. They said, so embarrassing. even as the opposition leader. So effing embarrassing and whatnot, and just hashtag women against Polyev. Polyev is unelectable, put the punt the runt and stuff like this. And the graphic they posted says, the next person who tells you the CPC wasn't involved in orchestrating the convoy, Polyev had flags made. And when you look at this flag closer, it's obviously AI generated because those words are not actually moving on the flag like actual words would if it was on a bending, warping flag. Really, Polyev had already been printing flags before he had even started running. O'Toole was the leader. Do you think that Polyev or any MP would be foolish enough that while there is another leader of the party, that they're just making merchandise saying that maybe I should be the leader? That isn't true, but these people can convince themselves of anything because in their frankly childish addled minds, they believe that anyone who doesn't entirely agree with them, anyone who is on the opposition, is inherently dishonest, is inherently a liar. And I don't put all Liberals Party supporters in this category. This is the minority. But the minority who are the hardcore supporters are also the door knockers, the donors, the people who do phone calling. The people who are the main sort of base of the Liberal Party are just progressive bullies. These people are just bullies. That's why they are not making arguments as to why Polyev and the Conservatives are wrong about dental care. No, they're going after their own dentist as a fascist for not participating. They don't want to know Arnold Viersen and pro-life people's perspective on abortion. They're just going to call them nasty human beings. At the same time, they're the only people who care about the 100,000 preborn children. No, they're just nasty human beings. Also, isn't that a little bit weird that we put such a heavy emphasis on having 500,000 new permanent residents per year because our population is going down? At the same time, we attack people for thinking maybe people should have children. Anyways, that's a little bit of an aside, but moving on. But all of this stuff is just indicative of the simple-minded kind of thinking that Justin Trudeau has baked into the way the Liberal Party operates. Either you're with us or you're with the intolerant. It's very much that either you're with us or the terrorist kind of rhetoric. And Trudeau has been doing that since 2015. Oh, well, we have a 50-50 male-female cabinet because it's 2015. And if you don't do that, the implication is you're intolerant. Oh, you're unvaccinated? Well, I don't want you sitting on the train next to me. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Oh, you're a fascist, far-right racist. And this has been really getting into the heads of the hardcore Liberal Party supporters who can now, in my opinion, can't think straight. It's either that you entirely agree with them or you're an actual horrible human being that they need to destroy. They are basically activating their base against normal people for not joining with the Liberal Party's agenda. That is actually fascist behavior. This sort of mind controlling type mentality that unless you're with us, we must basically pressure you or defund you or do whatever until you are clubbed into line with what Justin Trudeau wants to push. What Justin Trudeau wants to push these days isn't even trying to make people's lives better. It's purely, again, like his own hardcore supporters, just trying to naysay and attack the Conservatives. Oh, the Conservatives tried to make an amendment to the pharmacare because it wasn't actually going to work. Well, let's attack them for doing that. And then, after we win, because obviously we're going to win. We're the majority. Regardless. Anyways, that should be it for me today, guys. Just want to do the quick plug that I, Wyatt Claypool, am running for the riding of Calgary Signal Hills Conservative federal nomination. If you live on the west side of Calgary, check out my website in the description below, wyattclaypool.com, and get yourself a federal Conservative Party member. Vote for me number 1 on your ballot whenever the nomination gets called for. And also, you can donate to the National Telegraph's legal fund in the Give, Send, Go link in the description of this video. We are in a more than $29,000 lawsuit that has cost us that much money to fight. The guy wants like $900,000 from us. We're obviously going to beat him, but the costs are still pretty burdensome on us because this guy's a billionaire and can draw this thing out for as long as he wants. So if you contribute to that, it really helps us out. And I'll see you guys next time with another video. Hopefully this video didn't seem too rambly or very petty based on the topic that I chose, but I was just watching this stuff and it was just mesmerizing to see that people who actually think and believe things like this exist. Anyways, have a good one.